I turned myself in on my own accord to try to get this taken care of. So I'm just hoping to see if I can get a bond today, so I can be home for Christmas. I paid the bondsman $500 to get me to court. When I called the bondsman tells me he's out of town. I don't know.
I don't understand why you're telling me that it's up to your bondsman to get you to court. That
I'm
looks
going to be
like
sitting
where it
here
is.
till January 3rd.
What?
I'm going to be sitting here till January 3rd after I've been sitting in jail.
All right, let's set the scene. A man walks into court hoping he can convince the judge to let him out on bond just in time for Christmas. Sounds simple enough, right? But this is no ordinary situation. This guy turned himself in on a theft charge that goes back 4 years. He says he wanted to do the right thing and clear everything up, but there's one big problem. The first time he had court, he didn't show up. Because of that, his bond was revoked and he's been stuck in jail for 10 days. Now here's where things get complicated, and honestly, a little unbelievable. He claims he paid his bondsman $500 and expected.
Fine. Are you Mr. Kelly?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm Judge Sanders. We're just having a docket call today. That's the purpose of this. And what it is, Mr. Kelly, is that's a 2020 case that you had. And apparently, the state is requesting that your probation on that case be revoked and that you.
Yes, sir. So, I bonded out on that case, correct? And I paid the bondsman $500 to get me to court. When I called the bondsman tells me he's out of town. So I called Judge Sanderfield's office 3 times. Then I called the court clerk 3 times, and I called the district attorney's office and try to get a Zoom link. They told me they couldn't give me a Zoom link on the case. So I called back my bondsman. He says, well, what you need to do is start walking. So I called my attorney, Watts, at the time, and he said there was nothing he could do for me. So 10 days ago, I just got a new job working at Kohl's, making $27 an hour. 10 days ago, on Friday the 13th, I go turn myself in to Sedgwick County to get this taken care of. And then, I guess they finally just get a hold of you guys a couple of days ago on the 20th and said that I was ready to be picked up. But I turned myself in. I did everything I was supposed to do to try to get to court on back in July. I did. I mean, I called everybody I could, tried the judge, everybody, so my bond wouldn't get revoked. And then, I turned myself in on my own accord to try to get this taken care of. So I'm just hoping to see if I can get a bond today, so I can be home for Christmas. I did do my part of turning myself in and did everything I could back in July to get here. And I just want to get this taken care of. It's a 4-year-old case, sir. And like I said, I just got a $27 an hour paying job, and I just would like to get it taken care of.
It looks like back in June, your judge revoked your bond. You failed to appear.
Yes.
The court issued a bench warrant and a no bond hold.
Yes, sir. I understand that because I didn't show up in court, but it wasn't my fault. I paid the bondsman $500 to get me here, and he couldn't get me here. It was his duty to get me here when I paid him $500. I bonded out and gave him $500 to make sure I got here. And then when he told me he couldn't get me here, I called everybody I could. The judges' chambers. I called the district attorney. I called everybody I could, and it was all documented. And I even called Mr. Watts, my lawyer at the time, and no one could help me out. But now that I got this new paying job, I turned myself in on my own accord. I figured I should at least be able to get a bond so I can I'm trying to do what's right here, by turning myself in and getting this taken care of. And
that bondsman to personally get him to court, almost like a chauffeur. And when the bondsman didn't, he points the finger at everyone else. The judge's office, the DA's office, even his own lawyer. According to him, nobody helped him, so now he's stuck. You can almost feel the tension in the courtroom. On one hand, the man is practically begging, saying he just started a 27-an-hour job at Kohl's and needs to be home for the holidays. On the other hand, he's making excuses that sound, well, let's be honest, a little ridiculous. A bondsman doesn't drag you to court, he just posts your bail. At this point, the judge has to decide, does this man deserve a second chance, or is he staying behind bars for Christmas? When the judge responds, it's
I don't understand why you're telling me that it's up to your bondsman to get you to court.
Well, I paid him $500 to make sure I got here.
How much was your bond?
5,000.
Well, that's just the bondsman's fees for putting the money up for you. That's not the.
I figured that's the, well,
That's not
ain't
to
it their
pick you
job
up
to
and
make sure I
haul you
get
to
here?
court.
Ain't it their job to make sure I get to court though?
No, not unless you got some special arrangement with him, and that's nothing that the court has to do. And that's just his fee to make a bond for you so that you don't have to put up any money. Well, all right, in any event, Judge Satterfield has set that as a no bond hold. She wants to see you before she'd even consider bond, and I'm not going to do a sideways appeal on this and overrule her. So
I can't get no bond?
nope, no bond. Now, what they have done is give you a special setting, expedited hearing on your case. And this is for bond revocation. And it's at 1:30 on January the 3rd. And that's to be in person.
And Your Honor,
And no bond until that time. Yes, Mr. Regier.
based off of the state's information, that is a 1 o'clock setting, but I believe it is an in-person setting on January 3rd.
I thought I said that. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, it's in person, right?
That is the state's understanding, Your Honor.
Yes, I understand that too. So, that
So I'm
looks
gonna
like
be sitting
where it
here
is.
till January 3rd.
What?
I'm gonna be sitting here till January 3rd after I've been sitting in jail 10 days.
Yes. Well, then I suggest that you do. I take it that you don't have money for a lawyer, and Mr. Watts had previously represented you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what you might do, because I'm at this point, I'm going to go ahead and reappoint him for you, is you might get a hold of him and see.
Ain't no way of getting a hold of him. I've been trying to get a hold of him for a week.
You have his number?
Yeah, I got his number. My wife got his number. My mom got his number. We all been trying to get a hold of him for a week. I've been sitting in Sedgwick County Jail for a week.
Well, I'd suggest that maybe you try to give him a call this afternoon. If in any event,
How's that gonna help me any?
well, he could maybe file an emergency motion with Judge Satterfield, because I'm not going to overrule another judge here on that.
All right, so I guess we done here then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. You're excused.
Your Honor, could you repeat the time for the January 3rd date,
Yes.
please?
It's January the 3rd at 1 p.m. and she wants that in person. So I take it that means he needs to be at the courthouse in.
crystal clear, no bond. The reasoning? Another judge already revoked it after the missed court date, and this one isn't about to overrule that. Instead, they set a special expedited hearing for January 3rd. Translation, he's spending Christmas and New Year's in a jail cell. And how does he react? With frustration. He can't believe he's going to sit until January 3rd after already doing 10 days. He insists he tried to call his lawyer, his wife tried, his mom tried, but no one answered. The judge tells him to keep trying, maybe his lawyer can file an emergency motion. But for now, case closed. He's not going anywhere, so here's the question. Did the judge make the right call? Personally, I think so. Missing court is serious, no matter the excuse. Blaming a bondsman for not hand-delivering you to the courtroom doesn't cut it. And let's be real, that 27-an-hour job claim? That's pretty suspicious. Most people don't just walk into Kohl's and start at nearly $30 an hour. At the end of the day, actions have consequences. You skip court, you break trust, and you can't expect a judge to just brush that off because it's Christmas. Tough as it is, I think the ruling was fair. What about you? Was the judge right to keep him locked up, or do you think he should have been given another chance? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy these deep dives into real courtroom moments, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. More stories like this are coming your way.